Okay, example 7. This gets back to what Preston did earlier when I asked him what a four-sided figure was. He said a square and a rectangle before we got to the quadrilateral. Squares and rectangles are two types of quadrilaterals. There's also parallelograms, rhombus, and trapezoid. And if we just take a look, each one of these figures is marked with either right angles or not right angles, equal sides, not equal sides, that kind of stuff. And let's start with this guy here. Anybody know what this one is?
Rectangle.
Rectangle. All right, a rectangle is any quadrilateral with four right angles. That's the only requirement. It's a quadrilateral with four right angles. It's a rectangle. Okay, one extra property that rectangles have is that the opposite sides themselves are equal, but they don't have to be equal to each other. So it can be 3 and 3 and 4 and 4, or it could be 4, 4, 4 and 4. Both of those are rectangles. So this is actually a rectangle also. It's just more specialized than that. What's this one here called?
Square.
Square. A square is a quadrilateral with four right angles and all sides equal. So it's got that extra added feature, all sides have to be equal. With a rectangle, it doesn't have that feature. What about this one here?
Parallelogram.
Parallelogram. Very commonly misspelled word. It's two L's first, one L second, parallelogram. And the property of a parallelogram is marked with the opposite sides being equal, but the property specifically that makes a parallelogram, its definition is a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with opposite sides parallel. So these are parallel to each other, those are parallel to each other, that's a parallelogram. It just so happens when you do that, make two parallel lines this way, two parallel lines that way, the opposite sides end up being equal because of that. But the definition itself, opposite sides parallel. What's this guy here called?
Rhombus.
That's a trapezoid. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral such that one pair of sides is parallel. Only one pair. The other pair aren't. This is actually an isosceles trapezoid the way it's drawn. It looks like an isosceles where these sides are equal length. They don't have to be. But the top and the bottom are parallel. The other two sides aren't. There's some other shape. And then this guy down here, probably it has to be a rhombus. Anybody know what a rhombus is?
Four equal sides.
It's a parallelogram.
But
Four
squished
all of them
together.
equal.
Yeah.
Maybe less angles.
Between the two of you, yeah. It's a parallelogram, yes. All sides are equal. So a parallelogram is like a rectangle where a rhombus is like a square. The only difference is they're at a tilt. They don't have to have the right angles. But a rhombus is a parallelogram that just happens to have all sides equal. A square is a rectangle that just happens to have all four sides equal. All right? Trapezoid is not like anything else. It's just weird. It's like the black sheep of the family. It's one that shows up at the family reunion and everybody's like, oh no, they showed up. We're going to be dealing with all these figures this year. Mostly these two, parallelograms and rhombi, which the plural of rhombus is rhombi, by the way. Those are going to show up later in the year. If not later this year, they'll definitely show up next year in Algebra II.